Drugs. See your girl in the park. System overload.
This is Sean O'Malley. You're watching full-time MMA. Don't be a bagel fight, bagel bitch boy, bagel bitch back.
Uh-oh. That's not what we're doing. What's going on, full-time family? Time to start the show. I gotta start the McGregor versus Khabib countdown, of course. Bayow! 24 days. We are in the building. I see Steakophobic is in here with a hot take. We also got, let me pull up the chat. We also got Exist BMX, Mr. Perfect 2005, My Dog Ever Loves Drugs, Cocoa Butt. How much to settle do you think? I don't know. I ain't no damn lawyer. I mean, it ain't gonna be too much. It ain't gonna break Conor though. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that starting the show. We got 20 people watching. What's going on, everybody? If you haven't yet finished biting your bagels, do your boy a favor, hit the thumbs up button. And by the way, before we got the show started, probably not gonna be the longest show today of the week. Maybe an hour, hour and a half. Not as many topics, but we got a world premiere. Y'all ready? Fire Snoop re-recorded. I know that's been a favorite of the UFC Yankovic catalog. I re-recorded it, and I was going to send it to Stockton Slap so they could professionally remaster it. He's down for a couple of days. He responded to me. He is going to be able to get it done, which is going to be dope. I know a lot of people want to hear that, but I added an extra verse, so that's going to be pretty funny. Y'all want to hear a world premiere? Beard game coming strong, full-time MMA. Hey, yo, look at your boy, full-time MMA in the motherfucking building looking smooth. How's everybody else doing? Tony Kerr says, who you got, Conor or Khabib? Yo, don't do that to me. Don't put me on the spot. I got Khabib right now, man, but that's if I'm not betting on the fight. If I'm just going with who I think has the best chance to win the fight, I'll say Khabib Nurmagomedov. Now, if Conor McGregor's coming in as a fucking underdog or something crazy, I would probably bet on him because I think it's a toss-up. I'll say it's like 53% Khabib, 47% McGregor. You know, it's super close of a fight for me. So, it's a toss-up. Anyone can win. I'm picking Khabib, but I'm not confident. Cool Fool says, oh, shit, woo. Tony, that's probably not how you said woo, but you get the point. Tony Kirk Khabib is a beast. Yeah, he is, man. Y'all want to hear the world premiere? Y'all want to do it at the end of the show? We got 22 people watching. Y'all want to give the full-time family a little more time to roll in, or y'all good? I mean, we got some heat. I kind of remember the end of the verse than the new shit, but I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, so we'll see the mood of the chat before we get the show started. I mean, not a lot to talk about. Beginning and end, said Mr. Perfect 2005. All right, you convinced me. It wasn't going to be hard because this is Fire Snoop. And he said beginning and end. And recently, Snoop Dogg, you know, reignited his hate amongst the MMA community when going at Darren Till screaming "fuck Donald Trump." Yo, we updated it. It's time for the world premiere. Victor Avena, the full-time family called for it. I wasn't just going to put it out there, but it's time, man. Let me get my motherfucking own headphones. Where we at? Yo, we ain't got time to be fucking around. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I'll play the meme slideshow in the back.
You know you fucked up, right? Mystic full-time in the house.
It's updated. Fuck y'all know about that.
Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kinda hard being full-time MMA. But I, somehow, someway, keep coming up with content from my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fook the Mayweathers made $1 million off them dudes, and that's in a pillow fight. Boxing ain't no real fight. How we get knocked out to walk out looking like 1 million likes? Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice, cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one of the dudes getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you. Got him on Twitter yelling hashtag Fire Snoop. Biatch.
But we ain't done.
Time in the house.
We ain't done. We ain't done. We ain't done.
Mystic full time in the house. Hold up, we ain't fucking done. Cause Snoop came back screaming fuck Donald Trump while watching Woodley beat on Till. Look, brother, you need to chill. Darren ain't American, you must be off the weed and pills, the speed and seals. Cup filled with lean in the vodka. Snoop Doggy Dogg seems to be off his rocker. You don't really want any beef, this ain't boxing. This is MMA, will bring the knees up to your face or take you down and beat you on the ground. Khabib, when I speak to you between every pound, you'll be bleeding, I'll leave your ass up, face down, pause, walking around with no teeth, making not a sound. Super pause.
Super pause. Super pause. That's all I'm saying.
Full time in the
Fuck
house.
with your boy. What y'all know about that dude verse? Y'all ready to start the show?
Full time in the
Let's
house.
get this. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. Where's it at? Why the fuck is that 5 minutes long? I don't have a clue. That was the end. Whoo! Cause Snoop came back screaming fuck Donald Trump. Yo, y'all wasn't ready for that second verse. Super pause. My boy Forward in the motherfucking building. Yo, I'm just saying. I threw that together last night real quick. Like, second verse. Ting went scrat, says MMA Addict. Yo. I'm just saying. I thought that was, I even forgot how it went. I couldn't even do the fucking voiceover over here because I just made that shit. You dong Wakanda motherfucker, says Israel A. Nathan Woodley in the building. Y'all ready to start the show, man? Michael Chiesa's filing a lawsuit trying to get paid from that Conor McGregor bus attack. He had a little spot on his head. You know, he got a cut from the glass. And that's enough when you got some rich bastard throwing a dolly. And, you know, I fuck with Conor McGregor heavy. I'm not even one of those people that was just super pissed off. Like, oh, my God, Conor, you're the worst person in the world. You fucking broke the window. Can you believe what would have happened if you would have fucking took the dolly and actually fucking threw it at somebody's head without the window? Like, you could have decapitated some. I got it. Like, yeah, it was fucked up. He fucked up. Repercussions should happen. But it is what it is. That's about it. But even though I'm one of those people that didn't take it overboard, I still think Conor McGregor can pay up some fucking money here. You don't get off scot-free. If you're a rich guy and you go crazy, or you fuck up in public, there's a good chance that people either might try and take advantage of it because they're trying to get paid. And you can say what you want about that. Is it right? Is it wrong? Personally, I don't give a fuck. It just is what it is. If you're broke and a rich person wrecks into your car. I know a lot of people when I was growing up, they coached us. Even if you're a motherfucking kid, you got coached. Motherfucking, if we get hit, you better motherfucking say it's your neck, your back, and something about it's harder to x-ray around there so they can't really tell. So you just get paid. You know, that's just how it is. You try and get a payday. So you can imagine if you're a hungry fighter who's fucking supposed to be fighting, you're paying your coaches in your camps, you don't got millions of dollars, you don't make millions a years like these other sports, then yeah, if some fucking millionaire comes down and throws a dolly at your bus and your fight gets canceled, you could imagine that their team, it's not even like, it's just all on the fighters. His managers, his motherfucking family, his friends, they probably all said, you better sue that motherfucker. You know, he just fought Floyd Mayweather. You better sue his ass. And so that's a team decision. He ain't the only one unless you come from money. You know, if you're well off, if you got money, you don't think that way. But a lot of people are trying to come up out here, especially these fighters. Why you think they're in here fucking fighting? For fun? And you think a lot of them love to do it, but still, they're prize fighters. You're trying to get paid. Let's be real. So, with that being said, their fight was canceled, rescheduled, and now it was rescheduled, which means they probably don't make a lot. They don't break the bank. And I don't want to see that happen anyway. You don't want to see them break the bank. Some crazy-ass lawsuit that takes Conor down. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about paying a little bit out for what the actions that night at the Barclays. So Michael Chiesa, first person to actually go along with the lawsuit. There was 3 people. I actually thought I didn't expect Rose to go for a lawsuit, but shit, the way that shit's played out with her, she seems like she might need a lawsuit more than anybody. I mean, she's staying in the house, not doing anything but training. Holy smokes. She might need to be suing for emotional distress. It's crazy she was actually able to fight like the next day and fucking a 5-round battle and just beat the fuck out of one of the best strawweights ever. But, you know, outside of the gym, outside of the fights, outside of the house, she's shaking up. So I'm surprised she might fuck around and come for the lawsuit. I actually don't think Rose is gonna. I think after this fight, McGregor versus Khabib, the whole Rose you know what I'm saying, busts. I think that's going to die down a little bit. And shoot, I hope she gets her mental right, because regardless of all this shit with her mental, you got to get mentally prepared for motherfucking Jessica Andrade anyway. So I hope you can get this taken care of and get this bus off your mind and Dolly's off your mind. You probably can't walk by a damn U-Haul. You know what I'm saying? You can't drive by a U-Haul. All right, I'm done with the jokes. But no, what I'm saying is you got Jessica Andrade knocking at the door for a fight, and she's a beast. So I hope we can get this blocked out, you know, can compartmentalize it, do what a lot of us got to do, you know, to get your mind focused on the task at hand. And that's going to be Jessica Andrade. So with that being said, Ray Borg, another person, he actually had his cornea scratch, if you recall, from the broken glass. And not too serious. He was able to get his fight rescheduled. And listening to, of course, the wise Joey Diaz on the Joe Rogan podcast a while back after the incident happened, he brought this up, and it's really what put it on my mind. He said, shoot, the UFC, they kind of, you know, saved themselves from any too much potential flack on their own behalf, because honestly, I don't know how much at fault the UFC would be for this, considering it's their fighter, their boss. I don't know if Michael Chiesa would actually be supposed to name the UFC in this lawsuit, but he didn't. But even if he did, the UFC booked Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg rather quickly, so they can be like, look, they weren't out of work that motherfucking long. And that also kind of helps McGregor, because if they are suing for loss of wages, if they hadn't fought the entire time, he would have to pay this whole time. Like, look, I ain't fought since then, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fought since then. You got to pay me for my whole time off. That'll happen a lot of the times when you're suing for a loss of wages. You sue for your whole time off. And so since they got back in the action maybe a month later, Michael Chiesa was a little longer. Ray Borg was in there rather quick, or at least rescheduled rather quick. But, you know, he had his son, and I believe that pulled him out of that one of his fights. By the way, they were both rescheduled. Michael Chiesa fought Anthony Pettis at UFC 226. So, if that's, I'm sure that's going to be a part of it, because they were taken from their fight. So, but Ray Borg, though, I don't think he's going to be doing a lawsuit. If you listen to him, he was just grateful after he had his son that he was healthy. Well, his son wasn't healthy, and that's actually why he was even more thoughtful for Conor McGregor. He's like, look, Conor McGregor's got a healthy son. You know, after what I'm going through with my son and you know, and him and these surgeries, and now he's healthy, I'm just happy Conor McGregor gets to go home to his healthy son. I don't want to cause no harm on that man. I just want to focus on my life, my son, get my shit together. I'm cool with Conor. I'm cool. Let him do him. You know, so I don't think Ray Borg, he might not press charges, but, you know, it's may still be an option, because shit, I thought if anybody was going to press charges also, it would have happened by now. I mean, this happened at UFC 223. What was the date for UFC 223? I want to say it was in February. It was February or March. Either way, that was, it was April 7th. So, either way, that was 5 months ago. This incident happened 5 months ago. We've had 4 UFCs since then, and you're just now suing McGregor? Like, dog, what? Now, that's the part that kind of threw me off, but it is what it is. Maybe he was getting his shit together, getting the right lawyer, talking to the right people. I mean, I don't know. Because also, if you recall, not only did they get injured, they got injured, like, you know, because they had the glass. But, I mean, they didn't get super injured. They got cut. Ray Borg got a scratch. It was on his cornea, so it could have been a lot worse. So, but it was a scratch ultimately, and Ray Borg got a little dot on his head that was bleeding down. It reminded me of like when you go to the doctor and you get your blood drawn, and you know sometimes it'll just leak down a little bit before they put the cotton on it. It looked like he just needed to dab that shit up with a little cotton, and he would have been good. But that's enough. Rich motherfucker throwing dollies. That's enough. You lost your job the next day. You lost some work. That's enough. I don't know how much he's gonna get. I don't think he's gonna get no fucking $10 million. Nothing crazy. He's still gonna have to fight. But he might, Conor McGregor still likely might have to settle, and he might get a little chunk of change. Hey, Ray Borg, if he wanted to be an asshole, he could be in it for a chunk of change. Just because when you hear people talk about this, the likeliness is that Conor McGregor's team ain't going to want to deal with this, take this to court and all this shit. They'll likely settle, just, you know, to get rid of the headache. So, I mean, he might make a little bit of money here, but he's filing this shit so late, you know what I'm saying? So, That's interesting, but it's official. And of course, we know Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Khabib at UFC 229. Now, this is something else he's got to fucking deal with. That's something that we ain't even talked about or maybe had thought about. Fucking, you wait until Conor McGregor's got to fight. Like, I wonder if you're that vindictive. Like, yeah, I'm going to sue your ass, but I'm going to drop it on you at the right time. I'm going to wait till you got to fight. Bow! Now you got to focus on me and Khabib, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Conor McGregor gets a fight, and now you sue him. You had all this time to sue him, and now he's going to be distracted in this camp. Maybe he, you know, he's going to have a team that deals with this. He might not have to deal with this shit. He'd probably just be his lawyers. But still, it's some bullshit coming up during Conor McGregor's camp for Khabib, which is going to be one of the toughest fights of his career for sure. Let's see what's going on with the full-time family. Ashish Peshvar says, "Don't you ever talk about my mom." Yo, bayow! $6,500 for a McGregor suit. That's what I'm saying. He'll settle. He'll fuck around. You might make 100,000, 200,000, max $1 million. Either way, you ain't gonna be broke. You know it. I ain't mad at Michael Chiesa for filing the lawsuit because I'm broke as well. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If something, I would probably be trying to get my own 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like if some millionaire fucking decided to throw a dolly at my bus and I got a scratch from the shit, I'm suing your ass too. Who the fuck am I to lie? Yes, the fuck I am. You're a millionaire and you're throwing fucking dollies, dog, and I got cut in the head. I don't give a fuck if it's a scratch. You're bad. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at that. I am a little curious why you want to wait so damn long. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll give Chiesa a McGregor suit to settle the suit, says Coco Butt. Yo, MMA Addict says, Ali hates Conor too much for him not to sue, in my opinion. Is that his manager? That would be interesting. If so, yeah, you know he's telling him, sue that motherfucker. EBS Rock says, what if Mike would have won the first time around? What if he would have won that first time around? In which fight? Here we go. Says he's going to get what he lost that night and a bit more for emotional distress. Maybe 250K. Yeah, maybe 250K, maybe even a little more. You know what I'm saying? He might get a nice payday for sure. But you know, he might get a little more because let's go scroll down and see exactly what it is, what all he's suing for. Michael Chiesa's attorney made it official Monday night. The UFC fighter is suing Conor McGregor and others in response to the infamous dolly throwing incident that occurred back in April in Brooklyn. Chiesa filed a lawsuit against McGregor Sports and Entertainment, Barclays Center, McGregor's cohorts, and others Monday in a New York State Supreme Court. Kings County, per the complaint obtained by MMA Fighting TMZ, was the first to report it. So damn, it's the Barclays Center. He named the Barclays Center too. I seen somebody ask this question on Twitter. They were like, who is responsible for leaving the dolly around? They might have some culpability. You know, if you're the Barclays and you ain't just supposed to have fucking dollies sitting around and some guy throws a dolly in your parking garage, maybe there's something there too. So he might, I don't think, he would have to have a crazy lawyer to turn this into something huge because naming the Barclays and shit. But, I mean, I'm sure they have great lawyers as well, right? I'm sure they got great defense attorneys. So I don't know how far he would be able to go with it, especially since he wasn't super injured. It ain't like he fucking got a broken leg. It ain't like he fucking lost a leg. Nothing crazy. So with that being said, I don't know how far he can take it, but he is naming the Barclays. But one thing you didn't see, he didn't name the UFC. And you could imagine that kind of being a conflict of interest. If you wanted to sue the UFC, that's not going to go too well for you. They're your fucking boss. I mean, already suing Conor McGregor is a little dicey. That's their love child. You know what I'm saying? So you already might be rubbing some people the wrong way suing Conor McGregor. And you can imagine if you sued the UFC, you'd probably be fighting fucking Maribek Tyson over Islam Makhachev next, like Cajun Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta be careful. No, but with that being said, though, yeah, he didn't name the UFC in the suit. It did say and others, but if it was the UFC, that would have been headlines. But yeah, among the claims made in the suit are negligent infliction of emotional distress, assault, and battery. So yeah, Michael Chiesa going with that lawsuit. We of course all remember what it was from, the whole dolly incident, the response to Khabib and Artem. But this is all going to come to a head at UFC 229. Hopefully, Conor McGregor's legal team can deal with this over here. I hear his mama's got tickets, says Mr. Perfect 2005. Chill. Coco Bus says give Chiesa. Oh, yeah, we already read that one. Full-time MMA Real Talk Radio, says Rick Sanchez. Hey, I'm just chopping it up with the family. I'm just speaking, man. Charismatic Lemon says Mike's still salty. He lost, so he's back to suing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wonder. Oh, is that what you were saying? I wonder if he won the fight against Pettis, if he would have been suing. And hey, he's got a gig now with the UFC. Like after this, that's probably why he didn't name him. Like, yo, Chiesa, chill, bro. Like, look, we're gonna get you pension, motherfucking salary. You can come on, do some commentary. You want to fucking do some Fox work? We're moving to ESPN. Love to have the beard on board. You know, so he left him out of the suit. Harvey Weinstein says you can't sue the UFC. They are not an entity, just a name. You would sue WME. Okay, so yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I, for some reason, when I recall Mark Hunt's lawsuit, I felt like he named Dana White, and well, maybe that was before WME. I thought he named the UFC, but you might be right there, Harvey Weinstein. Israel A says Triple G. That's coming up, man. This UFC Moscow's in the daytime. Triple G versus Canelo's in the evening. I might fuck around and watch that shit on live stream. We might do a fight companion for that. Since the UFC's in the daytime, why not? Quincy Manola says, if you guys want to hear me talk shit about boxing for the whole undercard. Quincy Manola says, how much can he get? We don't know exactly how much. I don't know if there's an amount he's suing for. I'm pretty sure there's not. I skimmed over the article before I read this. In the complaint filed Monday, Chiesa's attorney, Joseph Murray, writes Chiesa was attacked, assaulted, and or battered by McGregor and his cohorts, which go unnamed, resulting in serious personal, economic, and other injury. Murray writes in the complaint that McGregor was operating on behalf of McGregor Sports and Entertainment. His promotional company, Barclays Center, and parent company, BSC, were named as defendants because, per the complaint, those employed at the Brooklyn Arena failed to adequately perform their security duties. Well, one of the things is they didn't. Motherfucking allegedly what happened was there, you know how McGregor has the MacLife media company? You know, he's got his own website, media website and shit, so he's got his own media crew. They've got their own media passes, cameramen, all that shit. So, of course, they're covering the UFC for their website, the MacLife. It wasn't like the Barclays had some security slip up and McGregor got past them, or there was some unlocked door that McGregor and them got in, or some shit that the Barclays fucked up on. Allegedly, a MacLife guy it let them in through like a back door or through a side door or some shit. It was a MacLife guy let them in. So I don't really know how the fuck the Barclays would be at risk unless you're like, you know, being real fucking like nitpicky and saying, oh, they shouldn't have had a dolly just in the open for citizen rampage, you know, that on a rampage to grab and throw at the bus. Like that dolly should have been secured. Like, you know, some stupid ass shit like that. But I don't know how they didn't fucking let McGregor in. It wasn't on their slip up. It was allegedly the MacLife guys. The complaint also alleges intentional infliction of emotional distress and negligent hiring, retention and supervision. Negligent hiring, I mean, now you would think that's the MacLife guys, but either way, it states Chiesa has been rendered sick, sore, lame, and disabled, that he has experienced pain, suffering, a loss of enjoyment of life, and will experience the same in the future. Yo, this is that shit. This is that shit where, you know, where if you're in an accident and your lawyer starts saying, oh yeah, you definitely got some money coming. You've been suffering a loss of enjoyment of life. You're like, I sure have. like this is that lawyer talk. You're trying to get the money right here. That hasn't been obliged to expend and will expend in the future sums of money for medical aid and attention. They want money for future medical aid and attention. My nigga just needed a cotton ball. That's all I'm saying. As well as compensation for economic loss that he has suffered, personal injuries, lost opportunities, and economic damages that he has been unable to attend due to his usual avocation and activities. He suffered a loss of other benefits as a result and believes he will continue to suffer the same in the future. Oh, no dollar amount is mentioned in the complaint, but Murray writes Chiesa demands judgment that exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all lower courts. Yo, Chiesa's coming for the motherfucking bank, dog. Werdum 2-year suspension, is that breaking, dog? That would be breaking, because he just fought and lost to Alexei Olenek recently. Oh wait, yeah, he failed after that, because I remember somebody made jokes. Yeah, I remember Colby Covington said he wasn't surprised. Yeah, he failed and he still lost. Harvey Weinstein says Chiesa waited until after he lost the Pettis to sue. He missed weight and will say PTSD caused him to have a poor performance and miss weight. Oh, going for the long game. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein is on to something here. He could, like, look, I have proof that I fucking have PTSD. I couldn't make weight. It's my first time missing weight. I had a terrible performance. I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, and I got put in a triangle arm bar. Of course I've got PTSD, and of course I'm not healthy still. Like, ugh, I'm just thinking, though. Like, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I'm just thinking. We saw the video. Like, he had a, you know what I'm saying? If he would have did this before the shit started bleeding, it might not even have went all the way down. The blood dripped down on his head and shit. Like, but yeah, man. Eric Rosa says Canelo's face is smaller. He was abusing PEDs for a while in order to cause his face to get bigger. Uh-oh. Brett Okamoto confirmed the 2-year suspension. So it's a 2-year suspension for Werdum. That might be it for Werdum as far as the UFC. And maybe not. He already like 41. Come back when he's like, what, 44, 43? Maybe he goes to Bellator. Maybe the UFC has a Legends League in time for him to come back. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. 2-year suspension. According to Geico, a lady hit me, totaled my car, and sued me one medical for $10,000, and she got a tissue and some Tylenol. Damn. That's what someone else was telling me. It might have been you, someone else in the comments. Trying to think. No, it was Now and Later, I believe. They were saying that they got in an accident and somebody's like trying to sue them and it's completely overboard. But that's just literally, that's been the game for the last 20 fucking years. And especially if you seem like you got money, and I don't know if you do or if you don't, but if somebody wrecks into you and they're driving a fucking Bentley or a Ghost or something or a sports car, you're like, oh yeah, my back ain't feeling the same. You know, and if it's somebody in some fucking bucket, if full-time wrecks into you, you're like, come on, man, we ain't even got to report this. Just fucking go. I know you ain't got insurance. Just go. Like, come on, I'm not going to get no money from you. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a couple little incidents where we just don't even fucking call the cops. Like, let's just go. Neither one of us got money. Let's just move on with our day. But if a motherfucker had a sports car, oh, no. Hold on, man. What do you mean? Where's your insurance? I don't give a damn. Like, bro, I can't even move my back. You know how it goes, man. Harvey, did you send a plant or a painting? Nice plant, Harvey, says Coco. But Charismatic Lemon says, I still can't believe people are claiming Snoop is racist. Yeah, that's the same people that say Colby's racist. I think people are just quick to use the word racist. We need a new word. You can say he's insensitive or he's not thoughtful or something, but fucking racist because he's rooting for Tyron Woodley, you're going to say he hates all fucking white people? Like, you just don't think if you feel that way. Like, dude, how the fuck is that racist? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, but that's not racist, dog. You don't have to agree with it. You can fucking hate what he said. You don't have to like him. You can fucking unfollow him on Twitter, but to say he's racist, you're just wanting to be offended. One of those guys. But there's a lot of them out there. Same thing with Mike Perry. You know, when he says the N-word, I don't think that's racist. I don't think he hates black people. I think that he was just either engulfed in that culture, listens to the music where that shit is spit out 20 different times, and who the fuck doesn't sing their favorite songs? Anything like that, the culture, like, you're not. I don't think those people are racist. I think that's the wrong word. But hey, you ain't gonna be able to stop it. That's the popular thing to do. So, especially in this 2018. So, yeah, man. But I don't think Snoop Dogg's racist for that. But it is what it is. Moving on from the whole Michael Chiesa lawsuit, McGregor. We'll see what happens. It looks like they're coming for the big bucks. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, and look at Rose! You know what I'm saying? He brings Rose up for a character witness, and like she's like fucking on the stand, like not even wanting to look at McGregor. I'm just saying, she's not going to be in training or in the house, so That would be a good character witness to bring up. If I was Michael Chiesa, I would 100% bring up Rose as a character witness. That's all I'm fucking saying. I don't even know if character witness is the right word, but I would just say, look, I'm not the only one fucking affected. I mean, if you're trying to get the money, look what he's done to Rose. Shit. Nah, I'm just saying, that's how it goes, man. They try to pile everything on. It just BMX says Snoop's been stoned since 1987. Hell yeah, man. Coco Butt says Till vs. Colby and Snoop is the commentator. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're having some fun. Rick Sanchez, 7 total strikes from Darren Till. Oh, Colby Covington had something to say about that. Colby Covington, we're going to cover that soon. He said he neglected his family, his wife, and his kids so he could fucking like throw 7 or 0 strikes in the first round. God, you gotta love Colby, man. You gotta hate him, but you gotta love him. You gotta fucking love some of the shit he says. That's so funny. Class action coming, says John Taylor. That's what I'm saying, man. I hope it's not a class. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Class action lawsuit. That would be a lot of fucking money. And it sounded like the wording in that second, that the end were like, and future medical expenses, and you know, we don't think we're ever going to be healed up from this. Like, I just wish, and it doesn't happen, but I just wish someone in the courtroom could be there and just be like, it was a fucking dot from it on his head. But, you know, but not in just in this situation. Like in an incident where you're in a car accident and someone's trying to overdo it. It was a fucking fender bender, judge! You know, that's not going to work in court, but a lot of the times, it's just what you want to... It was a fucking fender bender. It was a fucking scrape, dog. You know, but you can't. Meanwhile, they're talking about permanent future damages. This person's fucking quality of life will be affected from here on out. It was a fucking fender bender. You know what I'm saying? Like, your quality of life... Quality of life, just getting $5,000 is going to be fucking better than it was before the fender bender. You know what you know what I'm saying? That would not be a class action lawsuit, says Harvey Weinstein. Zuffa, I don't even like calling you. I forgot your name. I remember you said it before. But I know that's not Harvey, says Harvey Weinstein. But that's not actually Harvey Weinstein. No, that will not be a class action lawsuit. Zuffa W and me are already in a class action suit started by Nate Corey and John Fitch. Totally different. Hey, he sounds like he knows his shit. Alright, so yeah, let's move on. Dana White, this is a topic I did want to talk about because it's good news. We got some good news. Dana White's assured that there are going to be a couple press conferences for UFC 229. Now, it's good news, but also risky. We saw what Conor McGregor did with the damn dolly. I mean, Nate Diaz, you know, that press conference, the monster can. So all I'm saying is, if we're going to have a press conference with these guys, clear the fucking stage. No sponsorships. I mean, maybe water bottles. But even then, that could be a lawsuit. Sorry, Body Armor. I'm sorry, Monster. It's a McGregor versus Khabib press conference. We can't have no bottles for them to throw at the crowd. We can't have no fucking dollies. Wherever these press conferences are going to be held, we don't want no dollies in the premises. I mean, nothing. Nothing that these guys can throw. They can't bring their crew. Only McGregor, only Khabib. Microphone. You get to bring one person with you. Your coach, or you choose your fucking coach or your brother or your friend. One, not two. We ain't got time for fucking Artem and fucking Zabit to be scrapping while you guys are on the microphones. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time for that. So, there's going to be a couple press conferences. Fingers crossed no fucking dollies or bottles get thrown. But Dana White has assured that. He said there's going to be a couple press conferences that'll be announced after this fight. Now, he's supposed to announce these after UFC 228. A lot of people are saying that after his plans got spoiled when Tyron Woodley beat Darren Till, Dana White was so pissed off he just completely forgot about announcing his plans because his night was ruined. Like, I'm not fucking announcing that shit right now, man. Till just lost. Fuck out of here. You know, but, so he didn't actually announce when they are. He said it was going to be after UFC 229. But he said they'll be announced after the fight. We'll do this fight, then we'll announce the stuff that's going on with Conor and Khabib. Nothing like the MMA World Tour. There won't be any, what we should have, but there won't be enough time. And now this is interesting. So we'll book this McGregor versus Khabib fight when there's not enough time to promote it correctly, right? That's what he's saying. I mean, we should have, but there wasn't enough time. But if you recall, he wouldn't let McGregor step up the fight. Who was it? Frankie Edgar on short notice? Or was it Max Holloway? One of them, I think it was when Brian Ortega or when Frankie Edgar stepped up. One of them was injured. Yeah, I think it was whenever Frankie Edgar was supposed to fight Max Holloway, and Frankie Edgar was injured. And so that's when, okay, Jose Aldo stepped up and fought the rematch. But either way, Conor McGregor had offered to step in on short notice, right? And take the fight. But Dana White, it was the UFC that was like, nah, we don't have time to promote it. This guy's crazy. Yeah, he did offer, but we just don't got time to promote it. Like, we don't got time to promote it here, and we're doing this fight. Should have let McGregor step in. You know, but that's the UFC kind of saving him from himself, because taking a fight on short notice isn't the best thing to do if you're a cash cow, because you want to be fully prepared. Because if you lose a fight, it can hurt your stock, as you know we've come to know and love in the MMA community, the MMA stock. So if you lose a fight because you took it on short notice, that's not great. So want to give him time to prepare and all of that. At least he's got time to prepare for this fight. At least he's got time for a training camp. You know, if he would have took that fight on fucking 2 weeks or 7 days notice or however long, he wouldn't even have had the training camp. So it is what it is on that. But there are at least going to be a couple of press conferences. He said, these guys, first of all, this is the toughest fight in both of their careers. These guys need time to train and get ready for this fight. It's a month away, but we're going to have some good stuff for the press and for the fans. So rest assured, we will at least get some good press conferences, some good, you know, build up to this fight that we're all waiting for. And here's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Eric Rosa says they don't want to spend money advertising because it could fall apart at any moment. That's another good point. You could spend a lot of money advertising for this fight because it is a big fight. But, and I don't even think you got to worry about McGregor. When McGregor says he's going to fight, he's always showed up. He's not known for pulling out of fights. But Khabib, on the other hand, has pulled out of a few fights. Injuries, weight cuts, whatever the reason may be, he's pulled out. And so you can't fucking put no $5 million into promoting this fight and fuck around and the fight don't happen. You're like, oh, well, fuck us, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's a good point too. That weird guy says she settled out of court. He hit her in the arm and was friends of the Diaz camp. Conor paid her under the table, per se, is what I heard. Yeah, I did hear there was a person, or you know, a worst case scenario, a little girl or a kid that was hit with one of those monster cans or water bottles. I heard about that too, but yeah, that kind of just went away. And that could happen here. That's what I think is going to kind of happen with the Rose situation. I don't know if I doubt they're going to fucking pay Rose under the table, but I think after this whole fight, we ain't going to have to hear no more about that damn Dolly attack, let alone Rose Namajunas and Michael Chiesa. We might have to hear about his lawsuit, but we ain't going to be hearing about none of that damn Dolly attack after this fight, and that's actually going to be a good thing in my mind. I'm about done talking about the damn Dolly attack personally. Harvey Weinstein says, well, Tony Conor would still sell over 1 million. Fucking Conor versus Tysonov would sell over 1 million. You know what I'm saying? Conor McGregor could fight Olivier Albin Mercier and sell over 1 million. Conor and Tony is still a great fight, but it's not big enough for Conor. I think Conor, Tony Ferguson's stock is just not even close. You know, compared to a Nate Diaz or a GSP, even a fucking Tyron Woodley for a third belt. I think Conor McGregor would rather fight Tyron Woodley just for the chance of winning a third belt than just fight Tony Ferguson just to fight a lightweight contender, because there's a lot more on the line. Like, there's just not a lot to gain in the Tony Ferguson fight for McGregor, but it would still be a great fight for us MMA fans. I come back and the chat is roasting my boy. No, we ain't even roasting him yet. We just got started, brother. We just got started. And I ain't even gonna roast him. But Colby Covington is, yo, check it out. Oh, you talking about Tony Ferguson maybe? Because I see somebody talking about Tony Time the Gobstopper. Tony Time the Gobber Stopper. Hey, we might have to end the show with Tony Time as well. And another world premiere. We have to run that back. Hey, yo, y'all did. Hey, family that was here at the beginning of the show. Y'all did not expect that second verse to be that motherfucking hot. Don't even play yourself. You know it. Don't front. Y'all did not expect that second verse to be that fucking heat. That new remixed and a few hopefully soon remastered sometime in this. We'll drop that. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, man. Let's talk about this. Nothing crazy. This is more of, for me, this is more of the comedy skit of the show than MMA news. Whenever I see Colby Covington saying something, I don't really take it seriously anymore. I know he's got some shit to say about everyone, everything. It don't matter if you're in the UFC. You can be fucking Ben Askren. You can be GSP. You can be a welterweight. You can be a lightweight. He'll talk shit about a female bantamweight. Whenever I see Colby Covington, I know he's got some shit to talk. So I just look at it and see what I can take out of it that I can laugh at. And the rest of it, send that shit right back to Colby. You know what I'm saying? And this was just pretty funny because of how big of a deal was made out of that whole Darren Till. You remember when Darren Till was in the interview and he said fucking, he was speaking with the media and he said, yes, I have a pregnant wife at home. I don't care. I have a daughter at home. I don't care. And so people were like, what? You don't care about your family? Oh, no. Darren Till he's evil. He fucking hates his family. He probably punches them in the face. He hates them. Like, no. He just, when you took it out of context, he's just saying he's got to focus on being the best right now. That's it. But either way, it got taken out of context. And the fact that it got blown up so big, Colby Covington coming out and saying this makes it that more funny to me. He says, Darren Till neglected his family only to land 0 significant strikes on Tyron Woodley. Maybe that's not funny to everybody, especially forward if you're, you know, a Booger Bash 2018 type of guy, a big Darren Till fan. It might be a little too soon, but that shit's pretty funny. Let's see what he actually had to say. I gotta admit also, if you've been listening to Colby Covington's actual interviews, he's getting better. I don't know if he's got a fucking coach, an acting coach, or somebody that's telling him, all right, Colby, your shit's coming off forced. Just say it more confident. Just say it like you actually believe it. You know, your body language and shit. Just chill, dog. You know, when you're saying the shit, say it like you mean it. And, you know, just relax. But he's been doing that, and it's coming off a lot better. When he's doing these interviews, now he's coming off a little more believable. If you didn't know Colby in the past and you see him talking this shit now, you're like, okay, Colby, I'm not going to lie. He's coming across, his delivery's a lot better. It's still the same cringy shit, but his delivery is getting way better. I'll say that as far as Colby's trash talk. He said Till is just an overrated doughboy that had a lot of hype. He talked the talk, but he couldn't walk the walk like me, so he needs to leave it to the big boys. He beat a crippled old clown boy, and he got a gift in his hometown against the choir boy. He should have never been rewarded with a title shot for missing weight in a third of his UFC fights. Good thing he neglected his family to land a hot 0 significant strikes in 2 rounds. Colby's asshole, dog. He said, who's Marty? He said, is he talking about, Kamaru Usman. He said, that broke bitch Marty ain't even in the picture. What happened to feeling in his soul that he was going to be the champ last weekend? Yo, why did he do that? I thought about that, but I forgot. You remember Kamaru Usman? He said I had a dream that this is the way I become the champion. Like, and I even was like, you dreamed that you were gonna be the replacement, and this position like never even existed before. Like, you dreamed the UFC was gonna create this substitute, like, and you were gonna fill in, and then not only get the call, but then win. Like, you know, it is what it is. It sounds good. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen, and so I didn't even see Colby said that. That's crazy. He said, what happened to feeling it in his soul that he was going to be the champ last weekend? Saturday night was the closest he'll ever get to a title fight, and that's from the front row like a mark he is. That bitch is my biggest fan. He talks a lot of shit about me, but he won't do shit but keep watching my greatness from the sidelines, Junior. So with that being said, man, he got on Area 1 show, and there was no, you know what I'm saying? He had it for everybody, Snoop Dogg, everybody. But I thought that Darren Till line was also pretty funny. How much do you think Usman got paid for making weight? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe he, like, show money. I could see him giving him, like, maybe show money. You ain't gonna get no win money, but maybe show money. I have a dream, says Exists BMX, that I will be the motherfucking replacement between Woodley and Till, and my dreams will come true. Harvey Weinstein says Frank Shamrock said he had a dream he would head kick KO Kung Lee. Kung ended up breaking his arm. Speaking of Frank Shamrock, I just watched UFC 5 earlier this morning. Yo, I watched fucking Frank Shamrock and Royce Gracie fight for 35 minutes on the ground in the same position with no stand-ups until sudden death. And then it still ended in a draw. I am not going to lie, I did not expect that. I was like, damn, son. And there was no, like, yo, the old days of the UFC, it was so fucking crazy, bro. Like, literally, punches to the dick were legal. Somebody was defending the submission by punching the dude in square in the dick. Like, you ain't gonna let me out, I'm gonna keep punching you right in the fucking dick. Headbutts, fucking fish hook submission. Like, bro, like, you could wear your shoes. You didn't have to wear shoes. You could wear one boxing glove. You could hold the cage. There was no time limits. Like, it's crazy watching it now while we're still watching current UFC. But going back and watching them all in a row today, like with all the rules today, like, boy, that shit. We watched UFC 4 last night. We watched UFC 5 today. We've been watching them, and you know, you can watch them with us if you want. We're watching them over on Twitch, though, because you can't watch them on YouTube because you'll get flagged down before the stream's over. At least on Twitch, you can watch it and then take it down. So we're going to probably be watching UFC 6 later tonight. So, yeah, man, that's going to be crazy. But I watched fucking, yeah, Royce Gracie. And then fucking also Dan Severn's in the building now. He came back. He lost to Royce Gracie at UFC 4 last night in the finals. Was beating Royce Gracie top position for 15 fucking minutes. Fucking, and then Royce Gracie pulled off the triangle at the very end. Came back, fought in the super fight against Ken Shamrock. Dan Severn fought in the tournament, just won the tournament. Yo, this shit's pretty fun watching these joints. So, yeah, man. Weezen336 says it's so crazy watching the almost no-rule UFC. I know I'm watching that shit now. It's like, it's one round. They count up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they count up. And then if the fight makes it to 20 minutes, they'll probably stop it and call it a draw. But in the big fights, it's 30 minutes. A 130-minute round. No rounds. That shit is crazy, dog. What's good, my hombre? Says Platinum Pablo Escobar. What's going on, brother? Clayton Funky says, truth is, no one likes Dana. So Woodley not being liked by Dana is good for him. Kinda. I mean, there are some people to go with what Dana says. You know, especially when he comes out and says, oh, Woodley was fucking boring. A lot of people come out the next day like, no, Woodley was boring. Like, even Dana said it. But, I mean, also, there's some truth to that. But now we can put kind of dead that. Coco Butt says, Usman versus Colby versus Woodley triple threat match. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's see what we got up next on the queue, full-time family. You were talking about Ken Shamrock versus Royce Gracie. Not Frank, by the way. Frank is Mexican, not Irish. I always get them motherfuckers confused. I don't know which one was in the WWE, but one of them was in UFC early, and he lost to Royce Gracie first, and then I just watched him with the draw. So I'm talking about Ken Shamrock. Frank Shamrock, Ken Shamrock, I swear to God, I cannot go without getting them mixed up. So, yeah, Frank is Mexican, not Irish. So Ken is Irish, so I've been watching the Irish one. Okay, so he's the one that went to the WWF back in the day, though, right? Or no? Yeah, I don't fucking know, dog. They're the same, man. They're not the same, but yeah, man, I got them confused. Forward says, if you could bring back one fighter in their prime to have an immediate title shot and fight for a year, who would you choose? He said an immediate title shot and fight for a year. Any fighter in their prime? Damn. I don't know, man, off the top of my head. Maybe Anderson Silva? I mean, that was always my favorite fighter. I mean, in his prime. He's not in his prime anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe you go back further. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Motherfucking see my boy Kimbo back since we can still see Silva fight. I don't know, yeah. I don't know, maybe Anderson Silva. That's a good-ass question. Not one I'm about to rack my brain about here and look like a jackass, though. So, maybe somebody from Pride. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many, man, there's so many ways you could go with that. But I'm also trying to think of who could compete. Because I was going to say, like, Royce Gracie. but I was like, I don't know if he'd be able to compete at the highest level, because I'm trying to think of someone that can actually compete with these guys if you're talking about fighting for the title, you know, and I don't know anybody really from way back in the day how they would compete with some of the best guys of today. So, yeah, man, it's a good question. Harvey Weinstein said they were both adopted by the same foster home family. Okay. Nick Diaz would get smoked by Woodley, says Weezen336. That'd be a better fight than you think, actually, man. I think that'd be a good fight. This is a very real possibility that Nick Diaz could get smoked, but that'd be a good fight. I think it'd be a better fight than you think, though. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't count Nick all the way out. He's got a good style. You know what I'm saying? He's got some great cardio. He trying to avoid playing. You know, I don't think he's going to get too aggressive. It might not be an exciting fight. It might not be a super entertaining fight, because I think you would have to fight a smart fight. But I don't know. Tyron Woodley would definitely be the favorite, but Nick Diaz got a chance. He's not just all the way counted out. But either way, I'm giving him credit there. But I don't know what the fuck he's talking about here in this article, where he's talking about Tyron Woodley getting all these easy fights and shit like that. I'm going to play it for you guys. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with Nick Diaz. I fuck with Nate Diaz. I fuck with the Diaz brothers. I support them. I like this. You know, I support the story, the whole shit they stand for, coming from nothing, training jiu-jitsu. I fucking completely respect that. They didn't have a silver spoon. It was far from it. And so they are where they are. They had to do what they had to do. Now, I don't agree with everything they do, of course, with the fucking fights on the outside, or like the fucking every week. For a while, it seemed like there was a damn crew altercation. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the best way to go about things. Just, oh, what's up, motherfucker? You know, in the street type shit, like, because you're gonna fuck around and throw away what you potentially have, unless you have a great legal team. You get in a bunch of street fights and shit like that. You did all this work to get out of the streets, essentially. Now you got these millions of dollars from fighting these big fights, and you could potentially risk a lot of that by acting like a thug, per se, right? So I don't think that you should, just because you come from the streets, you should continue on being a thug forever. I don't agree with that, but I still do support the Diaz brothers. But I don't support everything these motherfuckers say. I ain't a stan. So when you come out talking about Tyron Woodley taking these easy fights, that was an easy fight last night, I gotta say, bro, where the fuck are you? Who are you fighting? Well, there was a time where Woodley's was asking for a fight with you. There's multiple times where, I mean, we've been waiting on either Woodley to have an opponent or Nick Diaz to come back. And it's like, who are you fighting to be saying he's fighting easy fights? Tyron Woodley's fighting the top contender. He's not picking on little guys. Like, if you would have fought Nate Diaz, then you might be able to say the UFC's giving him fucking easy fights. But I don't think Nick Diaz would say that. Honestly, who do you think's an easier fight for Woodley? Nate Diaz, Darren Till, fucking Wonder Boy, or Damian Maia? The easiest fight of all of those is probably Nate Diaz for Tyron Woodley. So how the fuck are you saying he's getting easy fights and he's not even getting, you know, the fights that he could be getting? Or Conor McGregor. There's a lot of fights out there. Or Michael Bisping. If Tyron Woodley got to fight McGregor and then Bisping and then Nate Diaz, maybe you could say, how come he's getting all these fucking easy fights that are big money? And I'm not saying McGregor would be easy. I'm just saying, compared to the top welterweight contenders, Woodley would probably want those matchups, not just for the legacy or the money. Fighting a fucking former featherweight or former lightweight just might be a little easier, or even Michael Bisping, than fighting the top contender after top contender. That's all I'm saying. He's not fighting these easy fights. He fought Wonder Boy twice. Fucking Robbie Lawler. Is that easy? Is Robbie Lawler easy? Is Wonder Boy easy? I don't think Nick Diaz could beat Wonder Boy, honestly. That'd be a bad matchup. Do you think Nick Diaz versus Damian Maia would be fun? But Damian Maia, not easy. 7-fight win streak. Fucking Darren Till. I would love to see Darren Till versus Nick Diaz. If he's an easy fight, bring your ass back and fight Darren Till. Let's see. So let's see what Nick had to say. It's real short.
This whole fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never had an easy fight in my life. Fight that kid. I wouldn't take one. I would take. It's like, stop making bullshit fights with this guy.
So he said, stop making bullshit fights with this guy, and he's talking about Tyron Woodley. I haven't got an easy fight in my career. Like, dog, you ain't. Nick Diaz hasn't fought in like A long time. It's been a while. And in your whole career, I don't know about that. And either way, we ain't gonna fucking nitpick. Like I said, I like the Diaz brothers. But what I will say is, Tyron Woodley's not getting easy fights. The #1 contender of your division is not easy fights. And oh, it's also, by the way, it's real easy to say from the fucking sidelines. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're not fighting and you're partying and shit and you're getting paid to show up and smoke weed with people and you're sitting back watching Woodley. You know, this is another dude that was fighting back in Strikeforce at the same time as Woodley. Never got to see that. And it's funny, like GSP, you know, he's never fought Woodley either. But you know what's funny? Whenever GSP was on the Joe Rogan Experience, he was trying to pit fucking Woodley against Nick Diaz. He's like, now that's a fight I'd like to see. You know, it's like GSP or Nick Diaz don't want to fight Woodley, but Nick Diaz is saying he has easy fights. And, you know, and so it is what it is, man. But, yeah, Nick Diaz saying that fucking Tyron Woodley's getting easy fights, I completely disagree with that. Completely disagree. He's fighting the top contender. You could say he was asking for easy fights, but he's not getting them. So it is what it is, though. Weezen336 says Till would kill Nick. Let's see. I mean, Nick's calling him an easy fight. Blah! Now, maybe Nick is a bigger welterweight, too. Nick's fought at middleweight. Till could fight at middleweight. I'm not saying Till. I don't know if Till would kill Nick. I don't know if that's the case, actually. Nick Diaz versus Darren Till, I think that would be an amazing fight. But I do think that you shouldn't be saying he's an easy fight from the sidelines, especially if you ain't fighting Woodley, you ain't fighting Till. Nick Diaz has been on the side talking, anyway, I'll fight Daniel Cormier instead of Brock Lesnar. Like, okay, well, whenever Whitaker needs an opponent or Tyron Woodley needs an opponent, I hope we get to see the fight. But it is what it is. Hit the fucking like button, says Hassan Musa. So weird. What's going on, full-time family? We got 36 people watching right now. 20 thumbs up. When you're finished biting your bagels, do your boy a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Are you guys ready? Uriah Faber versus TJ Dillashaw. Is this a rematch? Have they ever fought before? If not, they definitely got to scrap. If these dudes ain't fought yet, they definitely got to scrap. Like, and this is, we got something to talk about. I actually really like this topic because we could have had this in the past, honestly. But I'll catch you up to speed if you're not already. Uriah Faber, UFC. So, of course, TJ Dillashaw, former Team Alpha Male, whole rivalry with Cody Garbrandt. But that really wasn't Cody Garbrandt's beef. That was really Uriah Faber and Team Alpha Male's beef with TJ Dillashaw. Cody Garbrandt was just a young up-and-coming killer that they were sicking on TJ Dillashaw because, you know, he was their, like, new, I don't want to say, like, flagship fighter, but he was the new, pretty much, face of Team Alpha Male. Of course, you always have Uriah Faber, but Cody Garbrandt was the new champion, up-and-coming, great boxing, bantamweight, young. And so, since Uriah Faber was retired and Cody Garbrandt was on the way up the ranks, he made room for Cody Garbrandt and to you know, take his spot in bantamweight. Uriah Faber retired after losing, I believe, to Jimmy Rivera. And after that, I think did he lose one more fight after that? He beat Brad Pickett. He beat Brad Pickett after he lost to Jimmy Rivera and retired. But either way, in the meantime, while Uriah Faber was on the way out, his teammate and protege, Cody Garbrandt, was on the way up to the top of the division to fight TJ Dillashaw and represent Team Alpha Male in this grudge match. Now, that didn't go Cody Garbrandt's way in the first fight, but there was a rematch. But after the first fight, there was a little bit of talks. Someone asked Uriah Faber, would you be open to fighting TJ Dillashaw and returning? And he was like he seemed open to it. But the reason that he couldn't come out all the way and say that he was going to return or that he wanted the fight is because it would have been stepping on the toes of the protege, Cody Garbrandt. Now, with that being said, Cody got the rematch and lost again. Ain't no trilogy. Ain't no more motherfucking Team Alpha Male versus TJ right now. It's over. TJ won. Team TJ won. And so, now though, I mean, people already believe TJ Dillashaw is looking to avoid fighting the top bantamweight contenders, and I don't agree with that. But what do champions do? They take the highest reward, lowest risk fight. Always. That's what the people who make the most money do. From fucking Floyd Mayweather 50-0 to Conor McGregor to GSP, anybody you can think of that's at the top of the sport, when they're there, they take the highest reward, lowest risk. Uriah Faber versus TJ Dillashaw will sell. The rivalry's there. It'll be, all right, I beat your fucking young protege that you thought was going to beat me and represent Team Alpha Male. Now I'm ready to kill the head of the snake, no pun intended, like, except for on the other foot, because now I'm ready to take out the head of Team Alpha Male. I took out him, now I'm ready to dead this shit. Uriah Faber, if he wants to come, you know, I don't know how much of a chance Uriah Faber has to win. Of course he's in it, he's a fighter. But it's a very winnable fight for TJ, and at the same time it's going to sell more because there's already a story there. That's all. There's already marketing there. There's already the Garbrandt fights you can talk about and lead up and all of this. The whole Team Alpha Male beef. So that's going to sell. Now, with that being said, Uriah Faber has recently, and I wanted to make sure that they haven't fought yet. It might be a rematch. I don't think it is, though. I don't think they fought yet. Of course, he's fought Dominic Cruz, but he never actually fought TJ Dillashaw before they split up and were no longer teammates. So, yeah, he's never fought TJ Dillashaw. So, it would be a fight that a lot of people would see. Uriah Faber, only 39 years old. There's definitely older fighters than that already in the Hall of Fame now. He can come back. He would be a Hall of Famer looking to represent Team Alpha Male and try and take on TJ. I'm just saying that fight would sell. And now, Uriah Faber is getting the itch. Let's scroll up to the top over here. Uriah Faber said, getting the itch to compete. Been a minute. Excited for October 5th. Hashtag Vegas. So, you know, he could be getting itch to compete and just come around and do some fucking competitive jiu-jitsu for all we know. He might get, you know what I'm saying? He might just want to come back and do a jiu-jitsu match. But since Cody Garbrandt's kind of out the way because he lost both the fights, he could also come back for a payday. If he wants I'm sure he would get pay-per-view points. If Uriah Faber, the Hall of Famer, wants to come back and take on TJ Dillashaw, represent Team Alpha Male, I'm sure that the UFC would be down for that. So Uriah Faber could come in and step in and fight TJ Dillashaw. Of course, people might not like it because he would be skipping Marlon Moraes. He would be skipping Rafael Sunsao. Now, of course, there's also Dominic Cruz. I think Dominic Cruz is actually a fight TJ Dillashaw could take as well. But TJ Dillashaw actually wants to make Dominic wait because he had to wait. So he told Dominic Cruz to get to work. But if he's going to fight at bantamweight and Uriah Faber's not there, Dominic Cruz actually is the best idea. It's the lowest risk, highest reward. If you beat Dominic Cruz, you have to beat him to prove you're the bantamweight GOAT. And also, if you beat him, it's the biggest payday. So if it's out of Marlon Moraes, Rafael Sunsao, and Dominic Cruz, it's going to Dominic Cruz. That's just facts. And then also, you got to keep in mind there's fucking Henry Cejudo TJ might be fighting. He's got fucking options. 3 bantamweight options that are all contenders. He can fight the flyweight champion, or now a new challenger has appeared, Uriah Faber. He might even want smoke with TJ Dillashaw. That's just a possibility. So he's getting the itch to compete. And Cody Garbrandt, he's out of the way. He's actually even low profile. There was reports that he was off of social media for a while after the loss. He's just trying to, you know, I think his manager might have reported that he's trying to clear his mind and shit, and just, you know, he took those losses, handled those L's. So Uriah Faber's explaining why Cody Garbrandt's kept it low profile since UFC 227, and this is what he had to say. Cody's enjoying being a family man right now. He was in the gym the other day, and he was in good spirits. I know he's been working out still. This is a mean world, and everyone likes to jump in and kick people when they're down. Cody is someone who wears his heart on his sleeve. There's no pretenses with him. I don't know if that has something to do with it, if it was the negativity he was paying attention to. I myself get things all the time where people say, hey, did you see so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that? I do my best part to put the blinders on. And it's funny because the person with the microphone gets to dictate the storyline. And right now, I had my time to be the guy with the microphone. And now it's other people's time. So you can't worry about other people's interpretations of things and whatnot. So yeah, man, he's giving an update on Cody. He also continued to say, I spent some time with Cody directly after the fight, and I wasn't necessarily the one that was in the corner for him that fight. I've got some great perspectives for him. I said I've been in this a real long time, and I've got some good perspective for you. So he's open to that. We're going to have a conversation about his path forward yet, but it just hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens, man. Honestly, Cody's in good spirits and stuff, but some people talk about now that he lost this whole shit with TJ Dillashaw, you know, it would be crazy, and it's just speculation, just rumors from fans. Is Cody Garbrandt going to stay with Team Alpha Male? There's been a lot of people that have left. TJ Dillashaw, Paige Van Zandt, and then even more recently, the coach. You guys know who I'm talking about. Coach from Team Alpha Male that just left. He reunited with TJ Dillashaw. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Team Alpha Male coach. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody's going to say it in the chat. But he also, Justin Buchholz, that's who it was. He recently also left Team Alpha Male. So who knows? And from what Uriah Faber, a lot of the times, he's in these guys' corners. So I'm kind of surprised that he wasn't in the corner for Cody. I don't know what that had to do with anything, just talking about it. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised Uriah Faber wasn't in the corner of Cody Garbrandt for that fight. Maybe just one of the other coaches from Team Alpha Male, and of course his uncle or whoever else he has in his corner. But Uriah Faber is in the corner a lot of the time, so that made me speculate Uriah Faber wasn't in his corner for that fight. Guys are leaving Team Alpha Male. Cody lost those 2 fights. I mean, if Uriah comes back to fight TJ, is Cody going to take that the right way? He wears his heart on his sleeve. Who knows? But he said Cody's doing real well. He sent me an incredible video of his baby watching TV, and he's in good spirits. He's 27 years old, and he had a moment where he needs to figure out what's my motivation, what's my dedication, and that's that. So Cody in good spirits, just laying low for a little while. I can beat Dominic Cruz in the game of Mario Kart, says Weezen336. Exist BMX says forward. It would be... Oh, he's responding to forward. That weird guy says Uriah ain't got no business in there with TJ at this point, man. He's too old. Let's be real. You can say Brock Lesnar ain't got no business in there with Daniel Cormier, but money talks. And if people are interested in watching the California Kid, and if they're still interested in the Team Alpha Male versus TJ beef, the fight's there. I'd rather see Dominic Cruz in there, honestly. Or even, I would rather see any of these contenders. But I'm just thinking about what's more realistic. If it was out of Marlon Moraes and Uriah Faber, the Hall of Famer, it's going to Faber. That's just where it's going. That's the most money, not just for TJ, but for the UFC. He's even a big name to have on your legacy and on your resume as a fighter. So, yeah, man. Justin Buchholz, yeah, that was it. That weird guy says, Buck, he was Cody's main coach, I believe, but may be wrong. And, hey, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in Team Alpha Male, so, yeah. How tall is Faber? I'm not sure. Let's see if they got it right here. 5'6". So, yeah. That's something I did want to talk about as far as Uriah Faber getting that itch. I was like, oh, shit. He's getting that itch. If he wants to return to the UFC, he's definitely one of those guys that's up there for the title shot. He's a Hall of Famer now. Team Alpha Male beef, he's in there. Luke Rockhold versus Chris Weidman 2 is official. I mean, it's going down. We've seen Rockhold in training. The UFC's now announced it on their main Twitter page. So the only way the fight doesn't happen now is if somebody starts fucking eating their duck sauce, you know, with all that sodium. Yo, I was making that fucking joke on the coaches panel, and I was not getting my love for the joke, and I thought it was brilliant, you guys. So I'm going to bring it here to you guys, because somebody, I don't know, like, I got to give you, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Nicco Montaño, right? I mean, let me tell you guys what I'm talking about. Nicco Montaño. So a lot of people feel like she ducked the fight, right? But in her reasoning, like, I stopped sweating. Like, my sodium levels were crazy or whatever. Like, my sodium was too high. My water was retaining too much water or whatever the fuck. So I stopped sweating. There was nothing more to sweat out. And it had something to do with their sodium, right? Well, so I randomly looked up. You guys know what duck sauce is, right? I'm fucking sure you do if you ever ate Chinese food. They got the duck sauce and the soy sauce. So the duck sauce just so happens to be high in sodium. So what I was saying is Nicco Montaño was clearly, you know, leading up to the fight with Valentina on that duck sauce. I don't know if she was putting it on her fucking weight cutting food or what, but she had too much sodium in duck the fight. See what I did there? See what I did there? Duck sauce, too much sodium. All right, I'll move on. But that's what I'm saying. That's the only way this fight doesn't happen. If somebody's got putting the duck sauce on their weight cutting food and they stop cutting, you know, there's too much sodium, and so someone gets injured, but the fight's official. Madison Square Garden, Chris Weidman, Luke Rockhold 2. It's going down. Great fight. Rematch. Contender fight. Not for the title. Great fight. Weidman from Madison Square Garden. Luke Rockhold, both top contenders, long-time staples, at least for a while, of the top 5 of the middleweight division. Hey, everyone, says Chris S. What's going on, Chris? Charismatic Lemon says, oh, I already answered that. Jamie Chambers says UFC, Uriah Faber's chin versus everybody. Yo. Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold. Yeah, so it's official, man. Going to be a great fight. Madison Square Garden. Of course, the crowd's going to be on Weidman's side. He's going to need it. He lost the first fight, but there's been time off. So usually when there's time in between a rematch, you can see a different result. Immediate rematches a lot of times go the same way, but there's been time here, so there's no guarantee how it's going to happen in this fight. So yeah, man, we'll move on to the next topic. Not a whole lot more, maybe 2-3 more things. CM Punk discussing his future in MMA. Real quick, I know a lot of the hardcore fans don't give a fuck about CM Punk's future in MMA, but there are some people that might be interested. I don't think he's coming back to the UFC, but with Logan Paul, though, yo, no, I'm just kidding, but this is what CM Punk had to say. From January until my fight, I was inundated with offers to do all kinds of stuff, but focus had to be on the fight and the camp and all that stuff. So what I'm doing now since my fight is I'm finishing all these other projects I've been doing. Today is my first day off from a 4-week movie shoot. It's week 3, and this is like the first day I'm off. Prior to that, I was up in Toronto working on a Saska Sisters remake of the legendary Cronenberg film Rabid. It's a film I'm working on now. They're kind of fusing it. Fusing, maybe? They're kind of fusing with the title, but I think they've settled on Girl on the Third Floor. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the queue I'm kind of just working on and working my way through. As soon as I wrap here, I'll be right back in the gym. I think the main difference about how life used to be and how I am now, instead of worrying about what's next while the current project is going on, I'm more in the moment. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I think that's why I love MMA training so much, just because you're there and you're not worried about what's behind. I'm worried about what's in front of me right now. As far as the UFC, I don't know. I'm focused on this movie right now. You have to ask me when it's a wrap, which is in a couple of weeks, but it seems like he's being a little more realistic about his future. He's not just in there just right back in the gym. He's actually doing some superstar shit. He's getting in some movies. He's getting in some work, like kind of letting up on the whole UFC gig. I mean, if he does come back to MMA, it's just going to be just to get a fight in, just because you want to fight, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be the champion. It ain't going to be to silence the haters and the doubters. It ain't going to be to fucking come back on some miracle run. No, dog, he's already like fucking 40, and he's from the WWE, and he got fucking tossed up by Michael Jackson, so not much of a future there. But hey, Logan Paul, that's all I'm saying. No, let's move on. Andrade says she volunteered to replace Nicco Montaño against Valentina Shevchenko at UFC 228. This is a dope headline for me. This is dope to see because this is a fight I've already speculated is a potential future fight. If Rose Namajunas heals up and takes this fight with Andrade, and Andrade wins, which is a very real possibility, you know she's willing to go up to 125. Andrade used to fight at fucking 135. Now she's all the way down to 115. She didn't, wasn't one of those girls that waited on 125. She said, I ain't doing this 135 shit no more. And she's very young. She's only like 26 years old. Jessica Andrade, I'm telling you right now, she's got a fucking bright future in this sport. I mean, it's crazy that she's only 26, bro. Like, she's got, like, fucking 20-something fights. Let me pull up Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade, UFC. Look how many fights she has at her age, right? She got 26 fights. 26 fights at 26 years old. She's looking like a fucking monster. Already fought for the title once, lost to Joanna. But look at her record. She's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fucking UFC fights. She fought a lot of those at bantamweight, 135. Won a lot of those fights at bantamweight. Like, she literally has wins at bantamweight, 20 pounds higher than where she's fighting now. Now she's at 115. So, the fact that she had that success at bantamweight, of course she didn't become the champion, and the fact that she could be a future champ here, but regardless of what happens to Andrade in this division, she for sure has a future at 125 whenever she wants. Whether it's because she loses 2 fights or loses a fight here in 115, whether it's because she gets tired of cutting the weight, We know she can have success at 125 because she's still going to be big there. She's huge at 115. She's going to be big at 125. And if she becomes the champion in the champ era that we are in now, she can move up and fight Valentina. Now, Valentina will probably beat the brakes off of Jessica Andrade, but I think Valentina will beat the brakes off of anybody at flyweight, so it's nothing against Andrade. But at the same time, I'm not going to count her all the way out. Andrade is a fucking monster, and she's coming off of probably the cleanest knockout in women's MMA history. I mean, you know, it might not be the best as far as KOs or TKOs, or, you know, might not be the biggest moment like a Ronda Rousey head kick or Rose drop in Joanna. But as far as the cleanest fucking knockout, the coldest, cleanest one-punch knockout, Jessica Andrade might have took that at UFC 228 over the weekend. So she's definitely next contender. She could fuck around, beat Rose, fight for the next title. We'll see what happens. But either way, Jessica Andrade offered to fight Valentina on short notice, it seems. Now, and I think she could have made it. I don't know how the UFC would have had to scrap a fight to save a fight. You know, they would have had to scrap the Carolina fight, but you would have at least got to save the title fight. That was somebody that could have stepped in and made the weight. She was going to make 115. Of course, she could have made 125. You know what I'm saying? So Andrade said she offered, but the problem is she also already had a fight. But still, we've seen the UFC do that. They pulled fucking Iaquinta out of his fight with Paul Felder to save the Khabib fight. So they could have pulled Andrade out of her fight to save the Valentina fight. But I don't know if it's the bro, I'm starting to feel like the UFC ain't fucking with Andrade like that. If she was because she needs the money, she would have probably got paid for a title fight. Now, luckily for her, she probably got a performance of the night bonus with that $50,000 knockout. It was worth it. I don't know if she got it. I think she did. So I'm assuming she got $50,000 for that knockout. But a title fight, she needs the money. I mean, she wants a title fight in this division. It's hard to get. I mean, Rose recently, before this fight, was talking about how there's no clear contender, and I think a lot of fans would disagree with that. So it doesn't seem like there's a huge push for Andrade to get a title shot, you know, and that's just how I feel keeping up with the sport. And the UFC chose to not save Valentina on the card here, you know, when Andrade could have stepped up, but respect to Andrade for stepping up, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just saw the fucking champion, essentially, what a lot of people believe completely not even want to fight Valentina. So there was a couple girls that you got to give some respect to for offering to step up and willing to take the fight on short notice. Andrade, Caitlin Chukagian, hey, I'm here. I'm in Dallas. I'll fight. Now, if you can't make the weight, that's one thing. But Jessica Andrade actually offered. She says, I even offered to fight for the belt if they agreed to it. But since they had already weighed me and done all the work, I wasn't allowed by the athletic commission. But I'm happy I was able to help the promotion, help the UFC with a great show and excite people. So I guess it was the commission, not the UFC's choosing, but, you know, and the commission, you know, they're going with health and safety and shit like that a lot of the times. And yeah, she had already weighed in, so what's she gonna do? Go fucking eat 10 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Go eat a bunch of food. Hey, let me weigh in now. Or rehydrate 10 pounds. All right, can I re-weigh in? Yeah, you know, the fight was just too soon. You know, waiting all the way up to weigh-ins. Maybe if it was 24 hours before, you know, maybe even if it was 48 hours before, Andrade could have stepped in and saved that fight. But the fact that Nico's camp and Nico's team, we didn't get the signs till the fucking right before the weigh-ins. There wasn't enough time. Andrade had already made her weight, so it is what it is. But she offered to step up, and even if she didn't get that opportunity now, we could be seeing Andrade versus Shevchenko in the future. That is very fucking foreseeable. Very foreseeable. But one other thing, I see somebody talking about the coach. I'm about to read the chat. This motherfucking, you guys don't even understand what Nicco Montaño's coach is talking about. Like, they're having a big fucking, they're having a lot of fun right now, I think. I think they're probably laughing with each other behind the scenes, cracking up every time one of them gets on a radio show and says some more crazy shit. Like, did you hear what I said on MMA Junkie? I said, since you didn't get to get your hands on Valentina, you might have to beat up Antonina first. Like, and then they all start laughing. Like, they literally, you guys haven't heard that yet, probably. Motherfucking Nico's coaches are saying, yeah, we still want Valentina, but we might have to give Antonina some work first. Antonina Shevchenko would fuck up Nicco. I'm telling you right now. That's a fight I would like to see, though. Yo. Now, I wouldn't want the UFC to book it because I don't trust Nicco to show up. I have a feeling she's going to be putting that duck sauce on her weigh-in food, whatever she's eating, and she's not going to show up to even fight Antonina. Sounds real good. It also sounded good that you were going to fight Valentina, but did you actually do it? No. I don't fucking think Nico Montaño would even fight Antonina, let alone Valentina. I don't think she wants to take that out from one of these Shevchenko sisters for whatever reason. And honestly, I would hope she would. I would love if this fight got booked. Antonina Shevchenko versus Nicco Montaño. Are you kidding me? After what the fuck we just went through? Let Valentina fight for the title. And I tell you what, if you can beat Antonina Shevchenko, you might get to fuck around and fight Valentina. But you ain't going to beat Antonina Shevchenko. It's just not even a thought. She's too skilled. And a lot of you might not know about Antonina Shevchenko because she hasn't made her UFC debut yet. But that's Valentina's sister who's been over there fucking it up in Muay Thai. And Nicco Montaño doesn't have the wrestling skills like a Tatiana Suarez that it might require to just, you know, hold somebody down and beat such a talented fighter like Antonina Shevchenko. Now, with that being said, would be a great fight, but we'll see. Do you think Nicco would show up? Let's check out the chat, and then we're going to, of course, read this because I couldn't believe it. I almost spit the water out of my mouth when I read the whole Antonina Shevchenko line. That's new. Let's pull up the chat, though. Johnny S. says, from Brazil, always plus 5 years, real age. Yo, you're saying Andrade's actually like 31. Yo, that's hilarious. Jamie Chambers says, Adesanya would whoop Till's ass. That'd be a fun fight. I definitely want to see that. Aegis BMX says, Nicco had the UFC PI dealing with her weight cut. Yeah, if she had the UFC PI and all of that shit, then there's no reason, man. I'm telling you, she went home. She got some duck sauce. She stopped by fucking Panda Express. She got 8 packets of duck sauce. I'm talking about that golden yellow sauce. That shit is fire. She was just drinking that fucking duck sauce, dog. Too much sodium in the duck sauce. It is what it is. Coach is onto something with that no love list, though, for real. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters, and I think really the no love list is yeah, you know, it's fighters that I don't know if they pissed off a matchmaker, pissed off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you piss off a matchmaker, if you piss off even Dana White, like, there might be some people, there really might be a no love list, you know? Have you seen that room that the UFC goes into where they fucking, all the matches are made and, like, there's a whiteboard, like 2 whiteboards and just a bunch of writing and all the schedule up there? Is actually how we saw that Mark Hunt versus Olenek. That's how we confirmed it, because it was on that whiteboard. It's called like the UFC War Room or something. It's where they make all their matches. I could imagine like there's a separate whiteboard and it's called like the no love list, and they just got a certain fighters, and before they make matches, they're like, hold on, all right, this would be a good fight for him. Let me check the no love list. Is he oh wait, he's on the no love list. Yeah, no, we can't give him that opportunity. Fuck that guy. He pissed off fucking Sean. No, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the coach is definitely on to something. Forward's out. Yeah, man, we're almost out of here, man. We only got one more topic after this. See you, Forward. Charismatic Lemon said Nico's just trolling at this point. Weezen336 says, I'm tired of hearing about Nicco. Won't lose sleep if she ever fights again. Yeah, man, we got to hear about this one last time, because they're not just talking about Valentina. Now they're talking about Antonina Shevchenko. But this is what her coach had to say. It was a nightmare and goes back farther than this past week. Nicco had a broken foot on the show after she won season 26 and won the title. She had to have her foot put in a boot. She was inactive for quite a while. She got a little heavy. When she finally got the boot off and started training again, she was getting sick, severe colds, and found out it was her tonsils infected, so she had to have a tonsillectomy. She really had a series of things. And a super chat from Kevin Terry, $5. What's going on? Yo, we're going to continue, but I got to shout out Kevin Terry for the $5 super chat. He says, Nicco Montaño was 20 pounds overweight. She didn't want the smoke. She needs to keep her mouth shut. Also, when's the next fantasy fight? Yo, the next fantasy might have to fucking happen. Like, Tyron Woodley versus... I might have to do... not Tyron Woodley. Snoop Dogg versus Darren Till. That might be the next one, man. It might come back. Nicco about to annoy me. Mary Thomas, I'm glad you're in the building. Shout out to Mary Thomas. Can you believe this? I don't know if you saw it yet. They had the fucking nerve to mention Antonina Shevchenko. Check this out. She really had a series of things, and there was a lot of pressure to make this fight happen earlier than she wanted to. Yeah, she never wanted this fight to happen. Of course there was a lot of fucking pressure. We need to get this division moving. You can't just get the fucking belt and walk around as Queen Bee, the fucking female flyweight champion of the world for 2 fucking years while you heal up every fucking boo-boo and scratch you got. Like, and it's supposed to, oh yeah, it wasn't just, she had a foot injury, bro. Like, they said she had a foot injury after winning the show. Like, she got off the show, and then there was a couple months, and she fought, what's her name? Roxanne Modafferi. So if she hurt her foot on the show, she fought Roxanne Modafferi with that hurt foot. It wasn't until she had to fight Valentina where she wanted to try and fully heal up, which is never going to happen, she said herself, because it's arthritic, so it's never going to be the same, or it's always going to have a little bit of pain, or whatever the case. So then, when you compound that with this new injury, the tonsillectomy, and then, oh, by the way, the day before the fucking fight, we sold tickets to people want to see Shevchenko, fans want to see Shevchenko around the world. The day before the fight, you fuck up your weight cut, get the fuck out of here. But you got to save face. You want to, you know, there's a lot of people that are probably in Nico's family or that are on the reservations that are big fans of Nico or big fans of their gym. And, you know, they picked up some fans and they don't want to just let their fans know, hey, yeah, guys, I know we were, you guys all love us for being a tough fighter, but, yeah, we're scared to fight Valentina because the fans ain't going to rock with that. So you have to have a great excuse. Even if you are fucking ducking Valentina, you're going to make a plan, you're going to do something to save face. And I think that's what they're doing with these injuries and missing weight. Instead of going out there and getting fucking turned into Nico Cachoeira, oh, the fight never had to happen, they were just forced to strip us. It wasn't our fault. Play the victim, and hopefully some of your fans give you that sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, poor Nico. Everybody hates Nico. Like, we still love you, Nico. It's okay. We understand. We've had bad tonsils, too. Like, so I think you're just playing the victim here to save face. But it is what it is. They threw me off when they mentioned Antonina. This is what they had to say. I'm still in disbelief that she was stripped of the title for something that has happened to a lot of athletes that are still fighting in the same weight class. The other part of that is when they called me to tell me they were stripping her of the title, and they were saying Andy Foster from the California State Athletic Commission was going to make it difficult for Nico ever to fight at 125 again, which is crazy. She's made weight every time. Oh, look, victim Nico again. Like, if I'm being insensitive, I apologize, but I'm done with this Nico situation too. But Andy Foster said that he was going to make it hard for Nico to fight at 125 ever again. Like, now even the California State Athletic Commission is after us. Like, everybody's against poor Nico because she didn't take this fight. Like, no, dog. Valentina and a lot of people weren't confident you were going to take this fight, and they were fucking right. Valentina said the day before. So, now that we're here, weigh-ins are tomorrow. Are you confident that she'll show up to fight? I'm not going to be confident until I'm looking at her in the octagon. Like, I'll believe it when she's in the octagon, and lo and fucking behold. But I got to pull up this. She said, October, let me make sure I'm not missing the quote. Because, yeah, here it is. She says, October, she's already going out to the Performance Institute. Then we're going back for the belt. To tell you the truth, we wouldn't mind Nico fighting Valentina's sister. Beat her up. Then go back for Valentina. Oh, damn. Yo, my bad. Let me reread that without it blowing my fucking mind. To tell you the truth, we wouldn't mind Nico fighting Valentina's sister. Beat her up, then go back for Valentina. We're going to try to have Nico ready in case her sister's opponent drops out. We're going to be ready. So let fucking Nico's camp tell it. She's getting ready to fucking make weight so she can step in and fight fucking Antonina Shevchenko, just in case. I think she's fighting Amanda Bobby Cooper. Who's Antonina fighting? She's fighting some girl in the flyweight division. Her debut just got announced. So they're saying, you know, everyone's against us, but, you know, we're good. We're going to get back here. Maybe we can beat up Antonina, and then we'll come back for Valentina. Man, I would love to see this fight just so you could see Antonina whooping Nico. You know what I'm saying? The record's actually a lot closer. Antonina Shevchenko's got like 6 or 7 pro fights. She don't have as much as Valentina. So they have a lot closer record, But Antonina would still give Nicco all the motherfucking smoke. It wouldn't be close. I mean, I would love to see the fight just so she could get one for Valentina, just in case Nicco thinks she has a chance against the less MMA experienced sister. But, yo, can you believe this? I'm going to highlight it. I got to hear the coach's take on this later for sure. And just this whole shit right here. To tell you the truth, this is coming from Nicco's camp. This is how I know they're in on the fucking joke. Because this is... That's how you know they're fucking playing right there. Because they said, and then fight Valentina. Y'all don't want to fight Valentina, dog. You don't want to fight Valentina, man. It is what it is. We know the truth. So with that being said, man, I definitely had to bring that up. I wasn't even trying to talk about Nicco until I saw her coach saying this madness right here. They're targeting now Antonina. They're gonna beat her up and then go back for Valentina. And by the way, they're even gonna be willing to step up on short notice if Antonina needs a replacement. Okay, let's see what the family's talking about. Kevin Terry said, Nicco chicken shit Montaño. That's got a ring to it a little bit. Mary Thomas said, oh, there's a lot of shit talking to back up. Watch Nicco pull out from the Antonina fight, too. That's what I'm saying. Not only would she probably... I completely agree, Mary Thomas. She would very likely pull out of the fight if it was scheduled. And so, to not only know that she's likely not going to fight Valentina, she's probably would pull out of that fight. She's saying she would fucking fight her on short notice. She's saying she's going to be ready and, like, on weight just in case Antonina's opponent gets injured. Get the fuck out of here, dog. Oh, my God. Navajo Nicco fan says, I'm serious. She was seriously sick and almost died. That's got to be Stewie. That's somebody that just hopped in here to troll. But let's see if we got anything else. We might have one more topic. Oh, this was just Valentina laughing off Nicco's statement, saying it's the funniest post she's ever heard. I got to put some respect on Nicco and her team. They definitely have a sense of humor. A lot of the shit Nicco said, she's going to knock out and fucking submit Valentina. Valentina's in La La Land if she thinks I'm not showing up to the fight. Motherfucker, you knew when you showed up you weren't on weight. No. Oh, she's in La La Land if she thinks I'm not showing up to the fight. You know, all of this shit she was saying and her team and, oh yeah, she's ready. And then, of course, you don't make it to the fight. So, but I admire the comedy in it all. Even in the most recent statement. You know, yeah, it's fucked up, but we're coming back for Antonina. We'll fight her on short notice, and then after we beat her up, we'll take out Valentina. Like, get the fuck out of here. But with that being said, man, it's pretty much the end of the show. We're going to end the show, though, with a couple of songs. If you weren't here for the beginning, man, we had the Fire Snoop. Y'all ain't ready. World premiere, extended, Snoop Dogg versus Darren Till. The extended version, the extended cut. So that's going to be the way we end the show. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to UFC Yankovic. We're 805 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000, it's going to be a motherfucking party. That's what we're waiting on. That's where we're going to put any of these fun little parody songs we do that we start the show and sometimes end the show off with. If you're wondering where they're at, check out UFC Yankovic. But we're going to play the world premiere, Never Before Heard, unless you were here at the beginning of the show. And, of course, we're live every weekday. After the show is over, we'll be back tomorrow, probably the same time unless I find a shift for work, and then I'll be live a little earlier. But either way, we're live every weekday talking about MMA news, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't. If you're new, I know a lot of you guys are returning subscribers. But either way, man, appreciate you guys for checking out the show today. We'll be back tomorrow. And, of course, UFC Moscow's this weekend. Triple G Canelo. We'll probably be doing live fight companions for both of those. But in the meantime, in between time, check out this motherfucking world premiere. Listen to this. And you know, just listen to the second verse. That's the new part. Let me shut the fuck up. Just listen. Here we go. That's the wrong one. Hey.
Yeah. You know you fucked up, right? Mystic full time in the house.
Hey.
Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kinda hard being full-time MMA, but I somehow, some way, Keep coming up with content from my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fook the Mayweathers made $1 million off them dudes, and that's in a pillow fight. Boxing ain't no real fight. How we get knocked out to walk out looking like $1 million likes? Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice, cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one of the dudes getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you, got him on Twitter yelling hashtag fire Snoop.
Biatch! Here we go.
Full time in the house.
World premiere.
Mystic full time in the house. Hold up, we ain't fucking done. Cause Snoop came back screaming fuck Donald Trump while watching Woodley beat on Till. Look, brother, you need to chill. Darren ain't American, you must be off the weed and pills, the speed and seals. Cup filled with lean in the vodka. Snoop Doggy Dogg seems to be off his rocker. You don't really want any beef, this ain't boxing. This is MMA, will bring the knees up to your face or take you down and beat you on the ground. Khabib, when I speak to you between every pound, you'll be bleeding, I'll leave your ass up, face down, pause, walking around with no teeth, making not a sound. Super pause.
Super pause. Yo! Full time in the house. What y'all know about that full time family? I'm going to try and get that. Actually, I haven't even put that up. You can't even find that on YouTube nowhere. I'm going to send it in to potentially get touched up by Stockton Slaps, the super producer. See what we can do with that before we actually make it. But yeah, that's the sound at least. You guys got to hear that first. So yeah, that's something I've been working on as well. Just some more fun shit. Also, if you want to watch fucking UFC 6 we're up to, we're going to be watching those live. I'll probably do that later tonight after I got to go help somebody with some shit after I get off of live. But after I'm done with that, I'll probably be watching UFC 6 on twitch.tv/fulltimemma. Just watching shit over there, kind of like a watch party. You can come watch the shit too. And we're just watching old UFCs. No rules. It's just crazy. You know, just watching them all in order today with the current state of MMA. The whole entertainment era, just all the rules compared to how it used to be. We've been having a lot of fun over there. So, yeah, man. We're going to fucking end the show here today. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Mary Thomas, Weezen336. Iron to Max, Navajo Nico fan in here on a troll account. That is 100% somebody in here trolling. Exist BMX, that weird guy, everybody. What's going on? With that being said, let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm out.